Guys, I want to tell y'all about this story because it's very tragic, but it has a little bit of a twist to it. But this is a really sad story about a beautiful little girl and something that happened to her mom. But I want to give you guys some details. The story is coming out of the area, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh. Let me give you guys a disclaimer before we go into the details real quick. Let's get it. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. Thank you so much. And let me get this picture up on the screen because I want y'all to see this beautiful little girl, man. Because it breaks my heart. Y'all look at this angel. And I'm going to tell you, I know I say all children are angels because I believe that they are. But I just think it's something even more special about little girls. And for me, because y'all know I'm black, obviously, because of my skin color, I'm partial to our black princesses. Okay? Still to this day, my daughter pushing 16 years old and daddy still calls her his little princess. I still call my daughter my little princess. She'll tell you. She'll tell you. But I look at this picture and it breaks my heart because I look at her and I look at her beautiful smile. I think about her promise. I think about at the age my daughter was when she was her age. And it's just so precious. And for her to lose her life is just really sad. So let's talk about this. I'm getting this story from people.com. So thank you for the article. Authorities are still searching for the perpetrators responsible for the fatal shooting of a little girl at a Pennsylvania grocery store. Beautiful little girl. Police in Pittsburgh confirmed that the victim, who was identified by loved ones as, let me get her back up on the screen. That baby is 4-year-old Kari Thompson, Kaari. I like that name, Kari Thompson. According to WTAE TV, died as a result of gunfire from these thugs out there, right? Thugs with guns. Let's not blame it on the guns. Let's blame it on the thugs. Police in Pittsburgh confirmed that she was 4 years old. Kari's mom was also injured in the shooting and remains hospitalized in critical condition. And I actually do have an update to that. So at the time when the story was put out, which was not that long ago, the mom, this woman that you see right there, the mom also died of her injuries. So the mom did not survive. So for people that have been following this story prior to this point, that would be an update for you that the mom also did not survive. Police do not know whether the girl or the mom were targets of the shooting. Let me read that part again from people.com. They don't know if the mom or the girl or both were targets of the shooting. Bookmark that. Like I used to say back in the day, take a pen, bookmark that. We'll come back to it. Thursday evening, police responded to a call of shots fired at a Brooklyn food market where they discovered the mother and the daughter suffering from gunshot wounds. The pair were rushed to a local hospital where Kari was pronounced dead. In 4 years, she gave me more joy than most people can get in 40 years, said her grandfather, Kirk Thompson, told WTAE during a vigil Sunday. Our whole family is devastated, Heather Thompson, Kari's aunt, said, per the station. This was senseless. Why would you gun down a 4-year-old girl? Police said that the shooters fled in an unknown direction, and no arrests have been made. No arrests have been made. Anybody who saw or heard anything, anybody who has information that they're hearing, we're asking and pleading with anybody to come forward and share that with us. Pittsburgh Police Zone 5 Commander Stephen, Vinansky said, according to to the news. Let me just say the news. Goodness. Getting tongue-tied with simple stuff. A motive remains unclear. They say a motive remains unclear, but how about this? How about I give you guys an update that might give you a motive? Because some of y'all might be wondering, and you might have seen this picture. Why do they keep showing that picture? Because that looks like a mugshot. Why are they showing a mugshot of a victim, of the mother, right? Right? Did y'all think that? Did anybody think that? Because, see, when I watch the news, there's a lot of things that capture my attention. And when I saw that picture, I said, damn, why would they show that picture if she's a victim? It says a motive remains unclear, but let me do my Picasso thing, and I'm going to paint you guys a picture on this canvas of a screen. There is a GoFundMe campaign that was launched for Akari to offset funeral costs, and that GoFundMe raised $16,550. That is a beautiful little girl. I'm sorry, but just so sad, man. Do I have a picture of that GoFundMe? I think I did. Oh, right there. It closed out at $16,550. I don't know how much they were initially asking, but that's what it was for. It was created by Heather Thompson. So that's the paternal aunt of Kari. Okay? Now, I'm getting this particular article from WTAE.com, so thank you for the article. The search continued Monday for the person who shot and killed a 4-year-old girl in Pittsburgh, Lincoln, Leamington, Belmar neighborhood. Kari Thompson died after being taken to the hospital, which was the 4-year-old little girl. Her family remembered her Sunday night while holding a balloon release. I wish I would have said a candle vigil, but y'all keep putting balloons out. You should stop doing balloons. Polluting the environment. Stop doing it. They're making it illegal in some states, just to let y'all know. So you might as well stop doing these balloon releases. Anyway, the shooting left Kari's mother, Tamani Lewis, in critical condition. And again, I updated you guys that she's no longer critical. She actually passed away from her injury. So the mom is dead. So is the little girl. Pittsburgh Action News 4 has learned that Lewis was set up to go on trial in January for her connection to a shooting that left 2 people injured. Let me back that up like a U-Haul truck. Let me back that thing up like I was Juvenile and Lil Wayne. Let's back that up. Back that thing up. I'm going to read that again. Tamani Lewis, you mean to tell me this person, the mom? Huh. They said they didn't know what the motive was. Y'all caught that, right? I haven't used any cuss words yet. I hope I can keep this video monetized. Try to get my videos demonetized. The news learned that the mom was set to go to trial in January for her connection to a shooting that left 2 people injured, shot. Target on mom's head. Thank you. They act like they didn't know why. Really? So you mean to tell me that the second that you find out that it was this woman, you put her picture out there, you put her face out there, and you realize, oh crap, she's got a mugshot out there. Why does she have a mugshot? Because she's connected to a shooting. Why did she get shot? Maybe because she was connected to a shooting. Maybe she was a witness. Maybe she set it up, right? You know, pretty women. She's a pretty woman. She's a pretty woman, very pretty woman. Maybe she set it up. Maybe she set some dudes up and the dudes walked in while they talking to the girl and, oh, I don't know nothing, y'all. She might have had a part in it. I don't know. Maybe she was the shooter. She got tattoos on her neck. Maybe she was busting guns. Maybe she did like Rough Riders and she was asked, do she bust her guns? And she said, hell yeah, I bust my gun. She was set to go on trial next month for her part in a shooting that left 2 people injured. And everybody's talking about, oh, my baby didn't do nothing, y'all. This pretty faced woman right here. Tattoos on her neck. That shooting happened back in August on Stranahan Street in Pittsburgh, Homewood North neighborhood. Tamani Lewis, the mom, was charged with aggravated assault and attempted homicide. Jesus Christ, let me say that again. That woman was charged with aggravated assault and attempted homicide. Is murder and homicide the same thing? I don't know. She tried to kill somebody. She posted a $50,000 bond, so apparently she was out on $50,000. It would take $5,000 on 10% to get out, bail bondsman, whoever put the money up. I'm sure somebody put the money up. Maybe she did it herself. I don't know. But how about that for a motive? Let me give you guys the fair usage. And her daughter got caught up because I guess she just thought this thug life crap was cute. When you live by the thug, you die by the thug. Let's go. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Somebody in the chat actually said, like, I'm old school. What does it mean to burst her guns? Now I said bust. Bust her guns. Yes, that means she was the shooter. That means to take your gun and pop, 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 bust your gun. That's what she was out there doing, trying to kill people.
Breaking news right now at noon. Police confirmed the 4-year-old girl who was shot last night in the city's Lincoln-Leamington-Belmar neighborhood has died. Shelley Bortz is live at Pittsburgh Police Headquarters with the latest on this investigation. Shelley.
Well, yeah, Jessica, very sad news to report this morning. Police did just confirm to me moments ago that 4-year-old little girl did in fact die from her injuries this morning at the hospital. Now, police are on the hunt for her killer, and they continue to beg the public to help them solve this crime. Now, detectives say gunfire rang out on Lincoln Avenue in the city's Lincoln-Leamington-Belmar neighborhood around 6:40 last night, hitting the woman and that child. It's believed one of the victims was shot inside the Brooklyn Food Mart. 30 evidence markers could be seen scattered on the ground at the scene of the crime. Now, police tell us the shooters took off in unknown directions. That sparked an intense search for at least 2 potential gunmen. Neighboring police departments were called in to help.
They shot at that woman 30 plus times? Wow, they wanted her done. What was she caught up in? What was she doing? I just want to know why. So let's understand, we can't say that she's guilty of shooting at somebody, but she was charged. We believe that she attempted to kill somebody, which is why she was on trial or going to trial in January. She posted the bond, and maybe her being in jail would have saved her life and her daughter's life. Think about that for a moment. Sometimes jail is the safest place for people who have issues, especially in the streets. They came and shot 30 times. And I think there was one other person that got shot in the leg or something like that. If I'm not mistaken, I thought I heard that somewhere. 30 times. They wanted her dead. That sounds like automatic fire. Maybe it wasn't automatic fire, but damn. 30 times? You're saying, was she going to snitch? I want you to remember, she is the one accused of shooting was it 2 people? Yeah, a shooting that left 2 people injured. She was charged with aggravated assault and attempted homicide. That sounds like she was the one shooting. She could have been by herself. They didn't mention anybody else who was going on trial with her. So it sounds like they took this into their own hands and got justice. So could have been gang affiliated. It could have been anything.
Comb the area with canines and drones. Detectives aren't able to give a description of the suspects, but they're pleading with the public again to help in any way they can.
Just anybody that saw or heard anything, anybody that has information that they're hearing, anybody that heard or saw anything live or information that they're hearing from another source, we're just asking and pleading for anybody to come forward and share that with us.
Again, sad news here to report at noon that 4-year-old little girl did in fact pass away from her injuries this morning. Now we're told there was a third person who suffered a shoulder injury at the scene last night, but police tell us that person had nothing to do or wasn't involved in this incident. We are working right now to get an update on the woman's condition. So please stay with us and we will update you on that when we get that. But for now, reporting live outside of Pittsburgh Police Headquarters, Shelley Bortz, KDKA News.
In just a matter of 12 hours, 3 tragic acts of violence once again happening on our streets, from 2 different fights ending in bloodshed to now a family that should be celebrating this holiday season, but they're now grieving the loss of their 4-year-old shot inside a local market. Thank you for joining us this evening at 6. I'm Kim Gable.
And I'm Erica Moke. Ken Rice has the night off. Tonight, Shelley Bortz is live outside police headquarters where authorities just gave an update on this case.
Well, ladies, we just heard from police moments ago, and while they say they don't know yet who is responsible for shooting and killing 4-year-old Kari Thompson, they are confident this shooting is a result of some sort of beef.
It's a tragedy. It's sad. It's really sad.
This is 4-year-old Kari Thompson. Authorities haven't officially identified the child, but say she died this morning at UPMC Children's Hospital. And with her family's permission, Embrace Life Media shared these candid pictures of her with KDKA. Family friend and community activist Tiffany Walker tells me Kari was a superstar in the making and loved by many. At just 4 years old, she says, her charismatic personality lit up the room.
It can only change when the system changes.
Detectives say gunfire rang out on Lincoln Avenue in the city's Lincoln-Leamington-Belmar neighborhood around 6:30 last night, hitting the 4-year-old and her mom. Police say one of them was shot inside the Brooklyn Food Mart. 30 evidence markers could be seen scattered on the ground outside of the store.
I'm not surprised, but shocked in the fact that it's so close to where I live, and the 4-year-old passing away behind that.
Police tell us the shooters took off in unknown directions, which sparked an intense search for potentially multiple gunmen. Neighboring police departments were called in to help comb the area with canines and drones. Detectives aren't able to give a description of the suspects, but they're pleading with the public to help them catch this killer. We just heard from police moments ago. They're not saying much about the suspects, only that they believe this shooting is a result of some sort of beef.
This incident occurred because some people decided to settle their differences by using guns and violence. Our detectives and officers are working very hard to identify those individuals responsible for this crime and take them off the streets.
Now, police here tell me the death of Kari Thompson marks the 67th homicide in the city of Pittsburgh this year, and at least 14 of those were children under the age of 18, and all to gun violence. Now, a family friend tells me tonight that Kari's mom is still in the hospital in critical condition. Reporting live tonight outside of Pittsburgh Police Headquarters, Shelley Bortz, KDKA News.
Into our newsroom, we have learned the mother of a 4-year-old girl who was shot and killed in Pittsburgh last week has also died. 21-year-old Tamani Lewis, along with her daughter Kari Thompson, were shot in Pittsburgh's Lincoln-Leamington-Belmar neighborhood last Thursday. Lewis died of her injuries yesterday. Pittsburgh police say they're looking for 2 suspects who were seen running away from the shooting scene. As of this morning, no arrests have been made.
The crime scene tape outside the Brooklyn Food Market may be gone, but there are still reminders of what happened here Thursday night. A makeshift memorial outside the shop in honor of 4-year-old Kari Thompson.
There's no reason that a 4-year-old child should have been murdered because of gun violence.
Mayor Ed Gainey Friday giving voice to the outrage so many in the city are feeling as Pittsburgh marks its 67th homicide of the year.
This is a call for peace in our city.
It's heartbreaking. She's a 4-year-old girl, innocent in all of this.
This woman did not want to give her name or show her face on camera, but she did agree to talk to us about why she brought flowers here for a little girl she never met.
At the store every day, grandkids in the neighborhood, go to the school right here. It could have easily been one of them.
When asked about the recent string of violence, Mayor Gainey pointed to several factors, including the pandemic, when people drifted away from healthy outlets normally used to resolve conflicts. At the same time, he says, more guns flooded the streets.
One of the things we got to do is just find out how all these guns are getting on the streets. And that's what we've been working on now. Are we prepared to say where we're at in this? No, we're working on it.
Police believe 2 possible shooters fled the scene Thursday night. There have been no announcements about any arrests. Meanwhile, there will be a balloon release in Kari's honor Sunday night. From Pittsburgh's Lincoln-Leamington neighborhood, Mike Valenti, Pittsburgh's Action News 4.
The community says enough is enough, and there needs to be accountability after a 4-year-old girl is gunned down in the city's Lincoln-Leamington Belmar neighborhood. Pittsburgh police continue to look for the people involved. KDKA's Chris Hoffman has a message tonight from that little girl's family.
After the balloon release, the family of Kari Thompson says they want anyone who knows anything about this to come forward. They call the death of this young child a tragedy. A beautiful young life taken way too soon.
She always came up to you. She tells you she missed you, she loves you. Her and my daughter, they were best friends.
4-year-old Kari Thompson was killed Thursday evening during a shooting on Lincoln Avenue near the Brooklyn Food Mart. Her mother was also shot.
Her whole family is devastated. Her family, our family, her mother's in the hospital fighting for her life.
As the sun was going down Sunday evening, balloons went up for Kari. She was a student at Pittsburgh Lincoln Early Childhood. The school district echoed her family by saying she was a loving child. Dozens of people came together to call for an end to this violence, where the young Kari lost her life.
She was the most beautiful, lovable, adorable 4-year-old that any grandparent could want. 4 years, she gave me more joy than most people can get in 40 years.
Mayor Ed Gainey called for the love to come through. He asked for everyone to give each other a hug, whether they knew each other or not.
This street should be packed, not because of what's going on, just to show love.
And for Kari's family, they want answers. They want someone to be held responsible for the loss of a girl who had her whole life ahead of her.
My niece didn't deserve this. She was 4 years old. She absolutely didn't deserve this.
And Pittsburgh police continue to investigate. They too say if you know anything, to give them a call. As we learn more about this case, you will too, both on air and online. Outside Pittsburgh Police Headquarters, Chris Hoffman, KDKA News.
Who do you guys think they should go investigate first? If you ask me, yeah, you're saying was it multiple shooters? I believe it was. I say it was 2 shooters. So they're claiming that she shot 2 people. So I'm assuming that it was 2 people that came back for her. Okay. Oh, yes, we're going to talk about BLM. We're going to talk about all of that, okay? Can we get them hashtag BLMs in the chat? Since Black Lives Matter so much, well, I agree. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about the hypocrisy in that statement. Because in these cities, in these states, everybody wants to put up the black fist and black power and Black Lives Matter and wear the beanies and the shirts and type it in the chats and mantras, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. Who do y'all think they should investigate first? I think whoever was shot by her, allegedly, should be the first people investigated because I guarantee you they know something. If they were not participants, they definitely know something. That's first of all. Second of all, what kind of life was she living that she needed to go shoot two people? What type of argument? Where is the motherly behavior? Where is the queen behavior? When do the motherly instincts kick in? Because this little girl was 4 years old. So I'm going to assume that she was already a mother by the time that she committed this shooting. So she thought that little of her daughter to go out and go do some thugging type bullcrap like this? Stupid is a stupid thugs? Yes? Whatever she was involved in, for whatever reason it was, whether it were drugs, whether it were gangs, whether it was disrespect, maybe it was because somebody was sleeping with your baby and daddy, or whatever the case is, whatever it was for. First of all, it shouldn't have happened. That's first of all. So if you go gunning somebody down and then you meet that same fate yourself, you can't be shocked. You can't be shocked that karma came back to find you like that. And what do they say about karma? Karma is a B-I-T-C what? A B-I-T-C-H. They say karma is a bitch. And karma came back to claim this woman and her daughter. Not just you. That's why your stupid ass actions can affect more than just what happens to you, right? This is something I had to learn a long time ago when I became a father. And I was out doing bad things, right? Getting into it with people, arguments. And I got into a fight. And I remember thinking, what if something would have happened to me? I wouldn't be a father to my daughter. Wouldn't be here for her. And I was scared at that moment. And I realized, I said, I got to change my life. I've got to stay out of bull crap. I've got to stay out of BS. And I'm saying that from my own perspective. And I said, for my daughter's sake, I can't get into bull crap, and I have to be here to be able to protect her and provide for her. That's what a responsible parent would think once you become a parent. But it's apparent in this situation that this mom thought so little of herself, thought so little of her future, and thought so little of her daughter that you thought you could go out there and just go busting guns and then take your baby to the store like it's all good. Like don't nobody know you. I'm sorry, but when you look at this mom, let's back this up. When you look at the two of them, they stand out. Like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer's nose stands out. They stand out because the mom looks tall. The mom and the daughter are very beautiful. They're going to naturally attract a lot of attention. They're going to stand out. And how do you think that you can do dirt and that dirt ain't going to come to light and that ain't going to catch up with you? I don't feel sorry for the mom. I only feel sorry for the daughter. And the mom's actions got her daughter caught up. The mom's actions got her daughter caught up in this bullcrap. And I absolutely hope that they find out they need to be investigating the people who got shot, allegedly by the mom. And somebody needs to be talking and saying something. See something, say something. Just like the shirt says. Will we get an answer? I guess we'll have to find out. But the only person I feel sorry for, even remotely, is that beautiful angel because I'm a father. And again, I just think about my daughter when she was that age, and she just looks like she had so much promise. She just had the worst mother possible. Tamani Lewis is a terrible individual. To this young princess, Kari, R.I.P. princess, R.I.P. It breaks daddy's heart, man. That really does. But you guys share this story. If you have answers, give us the answers. Hopefully Crime Stoppers will find out something, police will find out something, but we'll just have to see. Maybe we'll update you guys and let you know what ultimately happens in this story, okay? Thank you.